Alright, our topic is measurement. The first subtopic we look at under measurement is perimeter. Perimeter is a total distance around a plane, figure, or shape. Alright, this is something that we done since in primary school, perimeter. So you do not have to remember any specific formula for perimeter. All you need to do is to add is a total distance. Total distance means we need to add up everything around a plane, figure, or shape. Good. So here I have some common shapes. Square. Well, we know with a square all four sides are equal. So here's the length. All four sides will be the length. So here's the length. That will be the length. So to come up with a formula for the perimeter of a square, all we need to do is to add the L plus L plus L plus L. So if we add all the L's, we'll get L plus L is 2L, 3L, 4L. So the formula can be written as P equal 4L. P represents the perimeter, and the 4L means 4 times L. So if you want to find the perimeter of a square, we can use the formula 4L. So 4 multiplied by the length, whatever the length is, you put that in and you multiply, and that's how you get the perimeter of a square. But let's say if you cannot remember this formula, all you need to do is to add all four sides. Let's say if this side was 3, it will be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, give you the same answer. Okay, with a rectangle, we do not have 4 length. Why? Because a rectangle, these two sides are equal. If you want, you can put this means that they are equal. This little line means that they are equal. So the two sides, they are equal. Opposite sides are equal. So these two sides will be equal. They are opposite each other. These two sides are equal. The longest side we call the length. The shortest side we call that the width. Good. So let us come up with a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle. So the perimeter will be P equals to, let's say we start here, the length plus the W plus length plus W. So what you do, we group like terms. So we group the L plus L. That's how we got 2L. And then we got W plus W. Whenever I'm saying W, this means as 1W. 1W plus 1W is like 1 plus 1. So that's how we got the 2W. And we can use this formula, we can use this one, or we can, if you want to write it a little more, if you want to get a little more technical, we can, the same formula can be written like this. We put the 2 outside. For those of you in third form, you remember about factorization. The common factor here is 2, so we put the 2 outside, open bracket, and then we have the length plus W. Because when you clear this bracket, you'll have back the original. 2 times L gave us 2L, 2 times W, 2W. Again, if you cannot remember this formula, all you need to do is to add all the sides around, and that's how you get a perimeter. With a triangle, there's no specific formula, so this is just a general one, A, B, C. Any side can be A, B, and C. Here can be A, here can be B, C, or A, B, C. It doesn't matter, any side is A, B, C. So all you need to do is to add all 3 sides that is given in the question. Okay, and let us move to our fourth shape, which is a circle. Well, a circle, we need to use a specific formula, right? With this shape, we don't have to use the formula. With the circle, we need to use our formula. And there are 2 formulas that we can use. One of them is C, represents circumference. Okay, the topic is perimeter, right? But the circumference of a circle is, because let us look back at our definition. Perimeter is a total distance around a plane, figure, or shape. So the distance around a circle is called a perimeter. But for a circle, we give it a special name. We call the distance around a circle, we call that the circumference. So let me just add that here, circumference. Good. So the distance around, we call that the circumference. And there are 2 formulas that we can use. C equal to pi r, and this pi is a Greek letter, which, okay, here I have it. Pi is a Greek letter, which is approximately 22/7 as a fraction, or let's say if you want to write this to 2 decimal places, we'll get 3.14. Good. or we can use the formula C equal pi d. Alright, let us go to the circle. So a radius is drawn from the center of a circle to the circumference. So here we have the radius. So the formula is 2 pi r, which means 2 times pi times r. And if we notice, a diameter is made up of 2 radii. From here to here will be a radius. From here to here will be a radius. So a diameter is made up of 2 radii. Why do I say radii and not radiuses? Right? Radiuses is not correct. The plural for radius is radii. Good. So 2 radii equals to 1 diameter or diameter. Alright, so we can either use C equal to pi r or C equals pi d. Let us move on. The length of an arc. Okay, so we understand that the outer part of the circle is what we call a circumference. Sometimes we might not need to find the perimeter or the circumference. Sometimes we might not need to find the entire distance around a circle. We might just need to find a particular distance around the circle, probably from A to B. We need to find this part. So the arc is divided into the minor and the major arc. The minor arc is the smallest one, and the major arc, this part, the bigger one, is the major arc. Good. And we also understand that the circle is made up of 360 degrees, and this little symbol here is another Greek letter. We have a lot of Greek letter that we use in maths because a lot of mathematician, a person who made a lot of impact, actually came from Greece. Good. So this sign here we call it theta. It's a Greek letter which is usually used to represent angle in maths. So mostly you'll find we use theta, or there's another one called alpha. We use to represent angle. Okay, and the r, which is here, the r is just the radius. Okay, here are the two formulas. Okay, the length of the minor arc equal theta over, or theta, some person say theta, some person say theta. Theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Or we can use pi d. We don't use both of them because this 2 pi r represents the circumference of the circle. And then we have the length of the major arc equal 360 minus theta over 360 times 2 pi r or pi d. Okay. Alright, let us go through this example quickly. Find the perimeter of the following shapes. So the first shape we have, all four sides are equal. It's a square, so I use the formula 4L. So it will be 4 times. I use a bracket to show multiplication. If you want, you can put the multiplication sign and don't use the bracket. 4 times 30 will give us 52. Good. Here we have our rectangle. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 2 length plus 2w. So it's 2 times the length. The length here is 7.3. And the width is 5. So 2 times 7.3 will give us that. 2 times 5 is that. And then we add. That's how we got the perimeter. Okay, with our triangle, this is a general form. You don't need to write a plus b plus c, but just in case if you want to do that, no problem. Good. So any side can be a, b, and c. It doesn't matter. So all we need to add all 3 sides. If you want, you can start adding from 15 plus 8 plus 12. It doesn't matter how you add. You'll get the same answer. So our perimeter is 35. Alright, here is a question. We'll work together. So we understand that the perimeter is a distance around, right? So, and if you realize that this 4 here is inside of the shape. So let us not get confused and add this 4 in, because we need to find the distance around a shape. That's the perimeter. So what I'll do now, right? Perimeter P equal, okay, to find the distance around, we know here is 4. We know from here to here is 5. This length is missing. So from here to here will be 5, right? And then we know from here to here is 4, which will accommodate that part. So all we need to do is to add a 4 plus 5. So we'll get 9. So here will be 9 cm. Alright, double C there. 9 cm. Good. Alright, so this entire distance is 11 cm. and we don't know this one. Okay, but we know from here to here will be 3, since that part is 3, so from here to here is 3. So all we need to do is to take out this 3 from the 11. So 11 subtract 3 will give us how much? 8. So here will be 8 cm. And all we need to do now is to add this side. So let's say if we start from here, so we add 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 3 plus 9 plus 11. Okay, let's see what we get. With addition, we can choose any two number and add 4. So let's see. Let me start from here. 9 and 11 will give us 20, right? 23, 28, 36, 40. So our answer will be 40 cm. Good. So here we have some examples to work out. Calculate the circumference of the following circles. Most of the question, not all the question, most of the question, they will tell us what value to use pi as. And let's say, for example, here they tell us to use pi as 20/7. We need to use it as that. Let's say if you use it as 3.14, our answer will be very close to this, 39.9. It will be very close, right? So it's very important to use whatever the question asks us to use pi as. Let's say if the question doesn't state, you can use it as 22/7 or 3.14, which is corrected to decimal places. Alright, so here, remember I said that there are two formulas we can use. C equal, let us go back. We have C equal 2 pi r or C equals to pi d. Whenever you are given a radius, you can use this formula. Whenever you are given a diameter, you can use this one. Simple as that. Okay, so here we are given the radius. So use C equal to pi r, so 2 times pi, which is that, times r, and you cancel off the 2 7 to 7 one time, good. So that's how we got, and then we multiply here, 2 times 22 give us 44 times 1, anything multiplied by 1 give us back the same answer. Okay, so there, okay, so we choose to use pi d instead. And in fourth form we are allowed to use calculator, so you don't have to show your multiplication of decimal at the side. You just use your calculator, enter this, and bam, you have your answer. Good. Here we are given a radius. I use this, and they tell us to use pi as 3.14. So 2 pi r. So 2 times pi times the radius which is given, and then use your calculator, multiply all of this at once, and there's your answer. Alright, here is a worded question. The radius of a bicycle wheel is 20 cm. So here we have a bicycle wheel, the radius is 20 cm. So think about this as a bicycle wheel. So the radius is 20 cm. What distance will the bicycle cover in one revolution? One revolution means that it goes around one time. It goes around. So let's say if this is a bicycle wheel and it turns 360 degrees, because a circle is, that's a full revolution. Good, so we want to know the distance that the wheel will cover, which is known as the circumference. So 2 times pi times r. This question didn't give us what value to use pi r, so we'll just use it as 3.14. Use your calculator, multiply. That's how you get your answer. Okay, so quickly what we'll do, we'll work two examples on finding the length of an arc. So here's our first example. Let us go with number 1. We'll need our calculator to help us. So find the length of minor arc AB. So we want to find length of minor arc AB. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is write the formula. So it will be theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Good, so theta in this question is the angle given, which is 45. 45 over 360 times 2 times pi, what is, okay, 20/7 times the radius, which is 14. And we try and see and cancel as far as possible, and then we use our calculator. Not because we can use our calculator, I mean if we enter all of this at once on our calculator, you'll get the answer. But let us do some work. Cancellation first. I can cancel the 7 and the 14. 7 into 7 one time, 7 to 14 two times. What number can go into 45 and 360? Let's try 15. 15 can go into 45 3 times. 15 can go into 60. Okay, let us use the calculator. 60 divided by 15. Okay, don't mind with my calculator, it's a little scratchy. 4 times. No, it's 360. Okay, so 360 divided by 15. What we have? 24 times. And we can cancel it 3 and 24. 3 into 3 1 time. 3 can go into 24 8 times. Well, we can do a lot of cancellation. Now I can cancel 8 and the 2. Okay, let's see. 2 into 2 1 time. 2 can go into 8. 4 times. I can do some cancellation again. I can cancel 4 and that 2. Or the 4 and the 22. It doesn't matter. Okay. 4 into 4. 2 can go into 4 2 times. 2 can go into 2 1 time. Wow. This is a lot of cancellation. Now I can cancel 2 and the 22. 2 into 2 1 time. 2 can go into 22 11 times. That's why I don't like cancellation. See how nasty the problem looks? Okay, so what do we have left? We don't have anything left at the bottom. We have 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so we have 11. 11 will be our answer. So our answer will be what? 11 cm. Good. And just in case, if you like to see, we can use our calculator and get the answer too. So we have 45. 45. This is a fraction button, right? We can use this or we can use the division. Let me use the fraction button. 45 over 360 times 2 times pi times 14. Okay, I didn't get it. 14. What do we have? 11. Good. So we're on the right track. My cancellation is good. No problem with that. Number 2. Okay, number 2, the major arc. So length of major arc will equals to 360 minus theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Okay, so 360 minus theta. Theta in this question is 45 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times r, which is 14. Cancel here. Okay, so we have 360 minus 45. That will give us 315 over 360 times. Okay, let us we can do our multiplication here if we like. Okay, 2 times 22 will give us 44. 44 times 2 will give us 88. And now let us, okay, we can cancel. Alright, let us go past the cancellation now, and let's see. Let's say if you want to reduce this fraction, right? This is a way the calculator can help us reduce this fraction. 315. They have, it's not showing so clear, but this is a fraction button. 315, I mean, over 360 give us 7/8. So if you break down that fraction, you get 7/8. 7 over 8 times 88. Okay, so we see that the 8 and the 88 can cancel. 8 into 8 1 time. 8 can go into 88 11 times. So 7 times 11 will give us 77. So the answer will be 77 cm. Alright, and number 3, quickly. The circumference. So we want to find the distance around the shape, right? So let us not waste much time, because we already find from here to here it's 11, and then from there straight around is 77. So all we need to do is to add both of them, the 11 plus the 77. So the circumference will be 11 plus 77, which will give us what? 88. See it. But let's say if you want to use the formula, you'll get the same answer, which will take up some more time. Alright, let's see if we can run through this quickly. Part A, minor arc. So length of minor arc PQ will equals to, so I'll write the formula. You should memorize this formula. Good, so theta in this question will be 70 over 360 times 2 times pi, which is 3.14 times r, which is 7.2. Alright, we don't have much to cancel. I can just take off this 0 with that 0 there, and all I need to do is to use my calculator and work all of this at once. So let us see. So we have 7 over, so let's say if you don't want to use this fraction, you can use a division instead, right? So 7 over 36 times 2 times 3.14 times 7.2. What do we have? Our answer is 8.792. 8.792. Okay, since it only have 3 decimal places, I advise you to write all 3 decimal places. Unless if you have a lot of decimal places, then it's when we'll round off. So it's fine to write 3 decimal places. It's not a lot. Alright, so final one, part B, the major arc. Length of major arc PQ. I'll use the formula. So 360 minus theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So it will be 360 minus 70, which is the theta in the question, times 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 7.2. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and go through it again. So when we subtract there, that's how I got 290, right? And then I can cancel off this 0 with that 0. Times 2 times 3.14 times 7. Okay, that's 7.2. Okay, if I like, I could have multiplied all of that and write the answer instead of writing back all of that. But I just choose to write it. So now I'll do all my calculation at once. So let's see, 29 divided by 36 times 2 times 3.14 times 7.2. Okay, our answer is 36.424, and that will be in meters. Alright, so that's it for this video.